Paramagurave Namaha. Parameshti Gurave Namaha. Parampara Gurubhyo Namaha. Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hiranyagarbhadharam dham Sheshavyasadimadhyamam Swami Shri Ramapadantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Namaste and welcome to Swami Rama Sadhaka Grama in Rishikesh, the international headquarters of AHYMSIN, the Association of Himalayan Yoga Meditation Societies International, founded by Mahamandaleshwara Swami Veda Bharati. From all of us here at AHYMSIN, we would like to extend our thanks to the IYA, the Indian Yoga Association, for giving us this opportunity to take part in this one-month-long event on the occasion of the International Day of Yoga 2022. We hope that all of you will enjoy our humble presentations. We will discuss today a little bit about spirituality and wellness. Wellness is a word that has been used quite a bit these days in many different contexts. And we'll try to use the word in the context of spirituality and in the context of yoga in our little discussion today. The word wellness can be associated with the Sanskrit word swastha. Swa, stha. Swa, one's own. Stha, to dwell, to reside, to remain, to stay. The verb root, the Sanskrit verb root stha, is related to the English word stay, stable, and other words in that same word family. So to dwell, to stay, to be in oneself is swastha, a word that is often related to the concept of wellness. Wellness in all the different sense of the world. In physical wellness, mental wellness, emotional wellness, etc. So this concept of wellness, to be within oneself, to be aligned with oneself, to have all these multifaceted layers of your personality aligned with each other. Your physical body, your breath, your prana, your senses, all the different functions of your mind working in harmony, in relationship with each other in a proper coordinated way. That's what we can call wellness in a large sense. This wellness is there to be a stepping stone in our spiritual pursuit. We cannot engage in spiritual practice unless we are aligned with ourselves, unless all our facets of our personalities are aligned with each other. Okay, if the body is sick, if the body is not functioning well, if the mind is not clear, if the mind is not focused, then we cannot progress in our quest for spirituality. So in our session today, we'll just go in simple exercises, simple practices that have been given to us and to the world by the Himalayan masters. And we'll try to share those simple practices to help ourselves in all the different aspects of our life. This idea of wellness comes with the desire that we all have, the desire for a long life. There is a mantra in the Yajurveda that says that one should aspire to see for 100 years, to live for 100 years, to hear from 100 years, etc. Pashyema sharadaha shatam, jivema sharadaha shatam, shanuyama sharadaha shatam, etc., etc. So everybody wants for a long life. Nobody prays to God, please God give me a short life. Everybody prays to God, please God give me a long life. But with that long life, what should we do if we are blessed with a long life? The purpose of life, the purpose of that long life should be to undertake spiritual practices, spiritual pursuit, to improve, to progress on the spiritual path. Then this long life that we wish for is meaningful. If we just want for a long life in order to enjoy pleasures of the world, then it's just a waste of time, because this long life will end without any progress on the spiritual path. So the purpose of this long life, therefore the purpose of this wellness, is to engage in spiritual pursuit. Wellness is there as a stepping stone for our spiritual practices, and wellness is not there as a result or as a goal, a purpose of spiritual practices. The purpose of spiritual practice is self-realization. Wellness is there to support, to enable us to go towards that endeavor, that spiritual practices, to progress and to finally attain, eventually, self-realization. So wellness is not the goal, wellness is the means that will enable us to reach that spiritual goal. If we go in the Yoga Sutras, if we go look at the text of the Yoga Sutras, it is very interesting to see in the first chapter, Patanjali lists a number of impediments, of obstacles in the spiritual path. Okay, if you go look at the text on Sutra 31 of the first chapter, Patanjali lists 9 obstacles, 9 distractions, okay, vikshepas, distraction, that make the mind distracted, that bring the mind away from the spiritual path, from the practice. We will not go through all of these 9, but most of them are related to absence of wellness on the physical plane or on the mental plane. For example, illness is an obstacle to spiritual practice. Procrastination is an obstacle to spiritual practice. Laziness is an obstacle to spiritual practice. Doubt is an obstacle to spiritual practice. Confusion in your points of view, confusion in your philosophy is also an obstacle of spiritual practice. Patanjali also gives symptoms, things that we can observe in oneself that will give us indications that these obstacles are there within us to hinder our progress in our practices. And I will just name 2 of the obstacles. Patanjali names 5 obstacles. I will just name 2 of them: dukkha, pain, suffering, and dormanasya, mental anguish. Okay? All these absence of wellness that we can feel in us are symptoms that these obstacles, these vikshepas, these impediments are there within us to prevent us to go ahead, to progress on the spiritual path. The definition of yoga is given at the very, very beginning of the Yoga Sutra by Vyasa, the main and primary commentator on Patanjali's text. The definition of Vyasa of what yoga is defined as samadhi. Yoga, samadhi. There's not even a verb in between. The connection is a very intimate, immediate connection. There's not even yoga is samadhi. Yoga, samadhi are two words that are synonymous. So yoga is not more wellness than it is fitness. Okay? Fitness is there as a support to yoga practice. Wellness is there as a support to yoga and spiritual practices, but it's not the goal of it. And if you go to our website, ahimsin.org, and if you see the AHYMSIN logo, it's written under it, Yoga is Samadhi, taken from Vyasa's commentary on the Yoga Sutra. We want really to remain true to what the original intent of yoga is. So in order to work, to practice, to progress towards that state of samadhi, we have to reach one-pointedness. Therefore, one of the main practices, I would say the essential practices in the tradition, is the practice of meditation. And all the other practices that we have in the tradition, be it physical yoga, hatha yoga practices, pranayama practices, breathing practices, shavasana practices, contemplative walking, silence, anything that we do is there to prepare and support the practice of meditation, which is the core practice of the tradition, the practice that helps us progress on the path of yoga towards that definition of yoga itself, that is samadhi. So I will invite you to go and look at the logo and see and understand that the original intent of yoga practice, of spiritual practice, is to attain that state. It's not to become flexible. It's not to reduce stress. It's not to look youthful. It's not to calm the mind. All these things happen along with. Okay? They are side benefits of the practice. But as yoga practitioners, we should not make side benefits into the goal. In the same way, if you feel insomnia on one given night, and if your cough syrup causes sleepiness, you don't take cough syrup in order to fall asleep. You don't use the side effect of the practice into its goal. So we don't use the side benefits of yoga practice, which are there and which are important and which are useful, but which are not the goal. So do not make the side benefit into the goal of the practice. In that effort to focus the mind, to make the mind one-pointed, moving towards deeper and deeper layers of meditation, we go, as we had described, from the vikshiptam mind, the distracted mind, to the ekagra mind, the one-pointed mind, eliminating all these obstacles by our awareness and by our practices. Okay, these laziness, these procrastination, these doubts, this negligence, this confusion that we may have, gradually through studies, through practice, through sadhana, these are reduced and eliminated so we can progress on the path. Yoga has a very, very vast variety of practices and very vast variety in approaches and emphasis. Some are formal practices, some are attitudes towards life to cultivate. In the same way, Rabindra in the previous session very beautifully explained the social norms that we should set for ourselves with the yamas, the personal restrictions that we should put on our personal life with the niyamas, he also very beautifully spoke about our relationship to nature, to the elements, to Mother Earth, how to not take more than what we need, how to respect nature in its entirety. So all these aspects, all these practices will come under lifestyle management, yoga application to daily life, how to integrate your practice and your personal philosophy of life into your day-to-day life interactions, personal interconnections with other people, and in all aspects of your life. Another aspect of yoga practice is more the formal practice that we do on a set time and on a set place. For example, our Hatha Yoga, our pranayama, our relaxation, and our meditation. And in the Himalayan tradition, in our tradition, what has been handed down to us by the sages, by the master, is something very organized, very scientific, and very much step by step, that everything is logical, everything is in proper progression, everything has the proper prerequisites and foundation. Our practice of meditation begins with the body and integrate body, breath, and mind in a progressive and scientific, systematic manner. It's not something that is haphazard, something that is happening accidentally. It's something that is very structured. And I would like to ask one of our permanent resident teacher here at the ashram Sadhaka Grama, Ramprakash Das, to talk to us a little bit about the importance of a proper sitting posture and the importance of correct breathing and the relationship that these two have with each other. So, Ramprakash, please.
The main components of good meditative posture, our head, neck, and spine should be in a straight line. We need to understand how to keep and how do we understand that our head, neck, and spine are in a straight line. We need to understand this point and just go behind and the heart center. So eyebrow center, our heart center, and where the spine begins, back. So this place, that place, and that place. 3 places should be in a one straight line. Means natural shape of the spine, where we maintain natural curve, lumbar region, thoracic, and the cervical. And our posture naturally become steady and comfortable once we keep our spine naturally aligned. And now, just as mentioned, our posture, meditative posture, head, neck, and spine should be in a straight line. Just have a look. Demonstration from the sides, you can clearly see shoulders are balanced, head, neck, and trunk are in a straight line. Means if I bring the stick, this part, our eyebrows center part, heart center part, and the lumbar region, base of the spine part. So here there is a gap, and here there is a gap. Means she's in a straight line. So this is the posture called meditative posture. For meditative posture to be aligned, see the higher platform. So we fold the blanket in proper way so that the surface will become little bit higher, and when you sit edge of the folded blanket or any particular soft cushion that is made for meditation, it naturally lifts your pelvis higher and naturally tilt your pelvis forward so that you will keep the back naturally aligned. Otherwise, it may take effort to push and raise up, and that may create unnecessary tension to the lower back, and it may make you uncomfortable in the meditative posture. Now, I am going to address you the frontal part of the body, how to keep the shoulders balanced. You can see clearly. If I have mentioned keep the shoulders to be balanced, if the spine is tilt, means neck will go left or right. So we have to keep, and shoulders may be tilt down. So shoulders should be balanced equally, and knees firmly slightly lower than the hips. So you can see slightly lower than the hips, and it makes very comfortable posture and keeping the spine naturally aligned, and meditator feels very comfortable. When they feel very comfortable, they will be able to relax. Now I will show you other option. If someone may find difficult sitting on the floor, I will suggest you to sit on the Zen bench. Sorry. This is the Zen bench that naturally helps to maintain the spine erect, naturally aligned, shoulders balanced. So if someone finds difficult sitting on the floor, this will be helpful for them. But still, body is not that much comfortable sitting on the Zen bench, I will suggest you to sit on the chair. And how to sit on the chair, I will show you. Sitting front of the chair, feet parallel to each other as wide as the hips, feet completely flat to the ground, spine position similar, keeping head, neck and spine in a straight line, shoulders balanced, eyes closed, palms just on your thighs. So this is the posture called Pt.Priyadarshana. So such a person as uncomfortable sitting on the floor or Zen bench, they can use chair for their meditation practice. After establishing our correct meditative posture, it may naturally helps to relax. So you can have the systematic relaxation of the whole body, and after relaxation, it helps you to establishing naturally diaphragmatic breath, because diaphragmatic breath is the natural process of the breathing that helps to release and relax and calm down. That is the naturally we have habit to breathe from the chest, and chest breathing causes many problems. It creates tense, it creates many problems that not let you to concentrate. So how do you understand that we are breathing diaphragmatically? When you breathe diaphragmatically, inhaling, stomach, navel area naturally comes out. When we exhale, it goes slowly in, but there will be no movement at all in your chest. So just have a look. Place your right palm on your navel, left palm on your upper chest. Relax your shoulders and breathe. And see the movement while inhaling and exhaling. Movement is happening under your right palm. Inhaling, coming out. Exhaling, goes in. This flow is known as diaphragmatic breath. And when the diaphragmatic breathing is flowing, it will help you to slow down and relax. Why is the correct posture for the proper breathing? In the correct posture, naturally shoulders are balanced, chest are naturally open. That naturally helps to breathe diaphragmatically. Otherwise, if the posture is not correct, you will be slouching, and naturally our chest is contract. When the chest is contract, lungs are squeezed. It will be very difficult to breathe properly. But as soon as posture is correct, shoulders release, chest opens. Natural force let you to breathe diaphragmatically, because in the correct posture we are also relaxed. So that relaxation naturally helps us to breathe correctly.
Thank you, Ram Prakash. So you can see that the basic elements of a good posture are simple but also very important. Okay? A naturally straight S-shaped spine, a firm foundation, balanced shoulders, straight head, and very important, a support under the hips to allow the spine to remain straight naturally without muscular effort. This posture will allow for a natural diaphragmatic breath. That is the breath that we want to trigger for our meditation practice and for any yoga practices in that matter. Okay, that diaphragmatic breath will allow us to bring a sense of relaxation to the whole body. And without relaxation, there is no meditation. This is something very, very important to remember. Tension is always a prerequisite to movement. Relaxation is always a prerequisite to stillness. Without relaxation, there is no stillness. Without stillness, the mind will not become quiet. Without a quiet mind, there is no meditation. So relaxation is the first and foremost important element of your meditation process. Once you have established your posture, go through the entire body to relax it, head to toes, toes to head. Deepen your relaxation if you want to deepen your practice of meditation. If you want the mind to become still, if you want the mind to become quiet, the secret is in your ability to relax the body in depth. Okay? So this element is extremely, extremely important. This relaxation will also help your diaphragmatic breathing. It works both ways. Your diaphragmatic breathing will help your relaxation will help your diaphragmatic breathing. Okay? So both support each other, and without those, without diaphragmatic breathing, without deep relaxation, the mind will remain agitated, the mind will remain on the surface. Therefore, the steps that we use in our practice of meditation: body, establishing the posture, relaxing the whole body from head to toes, then breath, establishing the diaphragmatic breathing, slowing down the breath, then observing the breath in the nostrils, Then the mind with the mantra, bringing the mantra as a thought in the mind, not as a word in the mouth, but as a thought in the mind, integrating these pranamaya, these annamaya, pranamaya and manomaya kosha together. Swami Veda used to tell us, if you don't have an integration of annamaya, physical body, pranamaya, vital energy, breath, and manomaya, mind, these three koshas are not integrated together, you cannot call your practice a yoga practice. Okay? If you, for example, in your Hatha Yoga, if you move the body from the awareness of the body alone, you're doing exercise. If you move the body from the mental awareness of the energy of the breath that is moving the body, then your practice becomes Hatha Yoga practice. Okay, so without the integration, at the minimum, without the integration of these body, breath, mind, annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya koshas, our practices cannot be called yoga practices. And this is the same sequence progression that we use in the steps of our meditation. Establishing the posture, relaxing the body, establishing the diaphragmatic breathing, observing the breath, breath awareness, bringing the mantra through the mind. Okay, these are the basic beginner steps of meditation, step by step in a scientific, systematic order. Okay, so without this system, it's very difficult. This system is there to help us move faster, help us progress faster on the path of spirituality. Now I would ask another of our permanent ashram resident teacher, Adhikari Bhoi, who's also a mantra initiator in the Himalayan tradition, to guide us in a short 5-minute meditation where you will be able to understand and recognize the steps that we have just mentioned.
Sit in a comfortable sitting posture with your head, neck and trunk aligned. Bring your mind attention only to the seat where you are sitting on. Shoulders balanced, hands on your knees are balanced. Bring your mind attention to your forehead. Relax your forehead and relax your whole body from head to toes and from toes to head. Relax. Shift your mind awareness to your stomach and navel region and observe a gentle rhythmical movement of your stomach and navel region with your breathing rhythm. Let your breath flow slowly, smoothly and gently. Let there be no sound, no jerks, no break in between your breath. Shift your mind awareness to your nostril and feel the touch and flow of your breath in your nostril. And just observe how your breath is flowing from navel to nostril, slowly, smoothly and gently. Let your mind follow your breath. Now in your mind, not in your tongue, not in your lips, only in your mind, remind the universal mantra as you exhale, thinking in your mind, hum, inhaling so, exhaling hum, inhaling so, just as your thoughts in your mind. Seek no benefits from this meditation. If there is any benefits that may accrue to the countless myriads living beings who are in ignorance, who are in suffering, may they be enlightened, may their suffering be alleviated. And for yourself say, Thy will be done. Gently raise your hands, bring your palm together, rub your palm and cup your eyes with your palm. Open your eyes on your palm, gently lower your hands. In this way, you may practice 2-minute, 3-minute meditation many times of the day, because whatever we practice in our mind repeatedly, that become the nature of our mind, and with this practice we may rediscover the eternal nature of our mind, which is our peace and our bliss. Om Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Adhikari ji, for this beautiful and deep meditation. We have explained the basic steps of meditation very briefly, and hopefully you were able to recognize them in the meditation guided by Adhikari ji. The steps of meditation are only one aspect of the practice, but that's not the core of it. Okay? The core of it is the state of meditation, and the steps are there to support and bring us to that state. But just knowing the steps and doing the steps will not bring the state unless the intent is also there. So Swami Veda, our dear teacher, used to tell us when we were sitting in his classes studying with him, he used to tell us repeatedly that meditation is not about technique, and that the important thing was not teaching techniques of meditation. Okay, that's just the bricks. Okay? You need the bricks to build your house, but the bricks themselves do not make a house if you're not able to assemble them into a unit and bring a feeling and a vision to those. Okay, so beyond the steps that we have described, there is more, and then that's intention and that feeling. And I would like, because there's nobody else better than Swami Veda himself to explain that to you very briefly, his vision on teaching steps of meditation and teaching beyond the steps of meditation.
A teacher of classes is not a teacher. A teacher of people, a teacher of individuals is the teacher. You teach a class, you finish the class, they go home, you go home. There is no relationship. To whatever degree of spirituality and realization you have arrived, you bring people to that level, then you are a teacher. So your own self-realization, your own spiritual awakening has to continue, and that is called teaching. Teaching a technique is no teaching. Technique is important, but can you teach me the correct technique for smiling? The day a textbook on the correct technique for smiling comes out, the smiles will vanish from the earth. And that is my view about teaching techniques of meditation. These things do happen. The mouth does extend so many centimeters in a smile, but not because the baby born was taught by the mother, sit down, I will teach you how to smile. When meditation becomes natural to you, meditation is a smile of the mind.
Nobody can express it better than Swami Veda himself. So these formal yoga practices, meditation, etc., as we have described, and also with the other practices of Hatha Yoga, relaxation, Shavasana, Pranayama, etc., diaphragmatic breathing, contemplative walking, practices of silence, and then the lifestyle practices, the yamas, the niyamas, okay, our connection to nature as were described by Rabindra in the first session. Do not see them as separate entities. Please see them as connected, okay? Do not see opposition. Always try to find the place where the two meet together. They are all part of one single spectrum, which is called the spectrum of life. Okay? Everything are practices of life. All these are practices of spirituality, spiritual practices, so we can progress on the path, so we can live a fuller life and one day reach the final goal of yoga. Okay? So see the connection, see them as one, and see how the lifestyle practices will be there to support your formal yoga practices. Okay, see how your observations, observances, your relationship with the society, your relationship with yourself, all these will help deepen and purify your emotions. Emotional purification is one of the core aspects of the teachings of Swami Veda. Everything was about emotional purification. Without emotional purification, you will never move forward, you will never progress on the path of yoga. This is a prerequisite, and this is where the two aspects of lifestyle observances, lifestyle practices, and formal yoga practices, they merge together. They merge together in that emotional purification and in that creating a mind that is a pleasant place to live. Chitta prasadanam, making the mind a pleasant place. Okay? Chitta prasadanam, allowing the mind to settle, therefore allowing the mind to clear, therefore making the mind pleasant. We live in our mind all the time. Why don't make it a place where it's pleasant to live in? Okay? And that yoga for mental wellness can be summarized in just this one aspect. Make the mind a pleasant place, a place where you will enjoy living through the lifestyle practices and through the formal yoga practices. Okay? Make your mind pleasant. I thank you very much for following this little informal session with us, and we would very much like you to come, and we would very much like to welcome you to our ashram of Swami Rama Sadhakagrama in Rishikesh. You will find the details on our website, sadhakagrama.org, or our international organization AHYMSIN website, ahymsin.org. So please come and visit us if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the tradition and the practices of the Himalayan masters. We will close as Swami Veda used to close all his lectures, all his sessions, with a 2-minute meditation. Wherever you are, just find a comfortable position, sit with your head, neck, and trunk aligned, gently closing your eyes. Just become aware of your body from head to toes. Let the body relax. And with a relaxed body, bring the mind's attention towards your breath. Breathing freely, gently, smoothly. Become aware of the flow and the touch of your breath in your nostrils. If you have a personal mantra from any meditative tradition, as you exhale, think your mantra in your mind. As you inhale, think your mantra in your mind. If you do not have a personal mantra, as you exhale, think Ham. As you inhale, think So. Let the mantra only be a thought in the mind. Observe the mantra and breath flowing together as a single stream. Maintaining the flow, slowly open your eyes. Let the flow continue even with your eyes open. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.